So one of the questions we get regularly is, what are the key elements of a rent roll contract? The first thing to remember is that if you're selling a rent roll, there is no such thing as a standard contract. The standard REIQ business sale contract, that doesn't really help with a rent roll contract because it doesn't have some of the nuances that are required in there. So let's go through what are the main things in there. The first one is actually defining properly what is being sold. When you're selling a rent roll, you're selling the properties that are managed by a real estate agent, and so that another agent can take over that rent roll. So you've got to really define that well. A lot of the standard terms of the business sale contract, they don't apply to a rent roll contract. So you're really going to make sure you properly define what's being sold. The second one is to make sure that you've defined what goes into settlement, because there's lots of things that need to be transferred at settlement. A lot of it's electronic these days, but you still need to make sure that all of the right things are transferred. The third thing, and one of the most important things, and probably where the most amount of fights happen, is the retention. So in a rent roll, normally what will happen is that the buyer at settlement will pay the 100% of the purchase price, and usually about 20% is withheld in a solicitor's trust account pending a retention period. So normally that's 3 months, and if a buyer loses a rent roll through no fault of their own, then they can claim that money for themselves, and then the balance goes to the seller. The terms of the retention are very important. In what circumstances a buyer can make a claim and when they can't, and really properly defining that so that it's really clear on the agreement between the parties is super crucial. And the fourth area is any restraint of trade. When you're buying a business, you want to make sure that the seller is restrained from buying or operating another business just like yours, or stealing clients or doing anything like that. So you want to make sure that you define that well and that you put the restraint of trade in there. So this is something we do a lot of. We help a lot of agents buy and sell their rent rolls. So if you've got any question on that, comment below or shoot us a message. We'd love to help you out.